And that presumably is why Reuters fired the photograph and just took the photographer just took the caddy out. Because, if we allow this with Reuters, then people are going to trust that we're not going to take out something more significant. Well, the National Star, anyway. I'm not going to fire a photographer. The photograph, let me move on. The photograph also becomes, in this period, a way of fixing identities. Are you talking about the state? Names on this stuff. But the state, the notion of personal information, right, is a modern notion. Really, you can see its roots in this period. But the idea of fixing people's identities, making records of people, particularly photographic records, which are more accurate than any description could be. This obviously is a powerful force that emerges in this period. During the Commune that I was speaking about, enormous numbers of photographs were taken by the Commune, by the revolutionaries, which were later used by the authorities, so the French, when they took power again in May of 1871, to identify people who then many of them were executed. Courbet, the painter, was not executed. I forget what happened to Courbet. I think he got out or something. But this became a way of determining who was responsible. It became a way of documenting these were presumably dead communards executed by the authorities, and it became a way of documenting the deviant, let me say in a general way, the criminal and other groups that one considered on the margins of society. The mugshot. Something we now take as a crucial element of the law enforcement system, invented in the 1860s, 1870s. The idea that you're going to take a picture of everybody you arrest, and you'll have it then. Moreover, having taken it, you can identify the person again if you're looking for that person. You can put together a book of this is on the upper left, a book of these are all, I think, con women. I mean, that is to say, they're women who are guilty of some confidence game or some scheme, and their pictures are all put in books that are then circulated among the police, so they'll be able to identify people in other places. The idea that the photograph gives you a means of social control, and social control is enormously powerful for the modern state. Now that you can commit a crime in New York and then be identified in San Francisco by your photograph, whether on the famous wanted poster, which again, with photographs becomes a much more powerful means of apprehending the criminals one's looking for, or by means of these books. This is a book that Pinkerton, the detective agency, puts together of bank robbers and embezzlers and so on, so that again, police, the authorities in other places can identify them. It becomes a very powerful tool. Let's get this as crime scene photos. It also becomes a means of scientific investigation of deviance. Now it becomes possible in an age that wants to see. This is the age of Darwin, after all, that wants to see the physical properties of people as indicative of their character. It now becomes possible to take pictures of people and scientifically, in quotation marks, to identify those features that are most characteristic of certain types. Cesare Lombroso, the Italian criminologist, does enormous great sets of photographs and drawings from those photographs of the criminal, revolutionaries, the insane, and looks for certain features that will identify those types. This is shifty eyes, handle-shaped ears. Let me see if anyone out there has handle-shaped ears. Bertillon, the French criminologist, is the one who really puts this on a scientific basis and creates a system not just of criminal identification, but of identification. That until the general adoption of fingerprints will be the main system of scientifically, in quotes again, identifying people by the shape of their ears, their nose, and so on. The ear in particular is very important for Bertillon. He feels it's something like a fingerprint, and he makes these elaborate photographic sets of people's ears, which he says is the immutable legacy of heredity and intrauterine life. By their ears, you shall know them. Bertillon was, I have a picture of Sherlock Holmes there because in one of the Sherlock Holmes stories, I can't remember which, somebody comes to Holmes with a case and says, I come to you because you were the second greatest detective in all of Europe, and Holmes indignant says, who's the greatest? Well, Monsieur Bertillon, of course, referring to this guy. It also plays a similar role in the identification of types. And also in the eugenics movement. Now, eugenics in this period is not necessarily a racist preoccupation the way we think of it now. I say this because there are figures like Margaret Sanger, who's sort of the creator of the family planning movement in America, who's now charged with having been a eugenicist. And so, well, she was, but it wasn't a question of race, it was a question for her, not that it's a good thing, of eliminating the insane or the unfit of whatever race they were. In any event, Francis Galton, a very interesting character, Darwin's cousin, mathematician, proto-sociologist, criminologist, photographer, he created, for statisticians, the notion of the regression to the mean is Galton's invention. He coined the word eugenics. He put, with William Herschel, we talked about before, the son of the other Herschel, he tried to put the study of fingerprints on a scientific basis. Didn't quite get there, but that was also his contribution. And he said, look, by means of photograph, we can actually scientifically, without human intervention, determine exactly what the traits are that identify the criminal type, the Jew, the revolutionary, whatever. How will we do this? We'll take we'll take pictures of a number of different criminals, as on the lower left, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 10 criminals, and we'll superimpose them one on the other, make a composite, which will combine all their features, and then will give us this, so to speak, photographic average of their features that will give us the pure criminal type. And so this fellow in the middle is the larger photograph is the pure criminal type. What always strikes me about this is that all these kind of mean and nasty and shifty-looking types, when you combine them all together, comes out with a face that's quite benign for some reason. They don't average out as something very shifty, but rather benign. He did the same with Jews and other types in order to identify the pure type. And this is something that also will become important in science if we get there, which we may or may not do. So Galton writes, the imaginative power of even the highest artists is far from precise, and no two artists can agree on any of their typical forms. The merit of the photographic composite is its mechanical precision. Again, the photograph is doing this itself. We're folding our arms and letting nature speak to us just by combining these photographs to give us the real truth that's not subject to errors of interpretation. It's also, as I suggested, an instrument of social control, and particularly of documenting the deviant. The Chinese in California, the Indians in California are all documented and photographed. The Jews in Auschwitz later, and other victims. Louis Agassiz, who was an important intellectual figure in 19th century intellectual life, also one of the progenitors of modern racism. And a Darwinian looks at blacks and says, these people couldn't possibly belong to the same species, and produces a set of photographs with the aim of showing that, of which these are two. The more pity I felt at the sight of this degraded and degenerate race, the more impossible it becomes for me to repress the feeling that they are not of the same blood as we are. These can't be possibly the same species. At a time when the notion of the species via Darwin is becoming an important element in intellectual life. It's also used more positively by photographers, and we'll talk a bit about this next time as well, who are social reformers, a part of the group that's sometimes called muckrakers, who are going to look at the conditions in the inner cities and in the South and in the poor rural areas and documenting it photographically so that people can actually see what's going on. Here, the ostensible truth of the photograph has an enormous power in a different direction. Jacob Riis, Danish immigrant, writes How the Other Half Lives, a collection of photographs of life on the Lower East Side. These are the lower photograph is young people in the Five Points neighborhood of Manhattan, which is sort of like the Seven Dials neighborhood of London. The pieceworkers in the shops, in the garment factories, which are enormously influential. Now, when they are rendered as lithographs, which they sometimes are, they don't have that effect because now somebody's interpreting this picture. When they're seen as photographs, they have this powerful effect on people. Louis Hine, later, another important American photographer, takes pictures of children working in cotton mills. These are all very influential in shaping the reform measures that are taken in this period. People can actually see the conditions under which people are working. Sarah Northcliffe Cleghorn, unjustly forgotten poet. The golf links lie so near the mill that almost every day the laboring children can look out and see the man at play. But this is the attitude that leads to various reforms. Later, during the 1930s, for the Works Progress Administration, WPA, established as part of the New Deal, a number of photographers go to take pictures in particular of the poor in the South. Walker Evans, whose collection of photographs is published, less now praised famous men. People heard of Walker Evans. Dorothea Lange. These are important figures in American photography whose work is supported by the WPA in this period. Similarly, in science, the model of scientific accuracy had been the atlas drawing. That is, a drawing like this of the rhododendron, or this of the skeleton, made by an artist that abstracted from lots of different instances to give the perfect ideal type. What does the perfect philodendron look like? Well, it's not any singular philodendron. It's one that I will create by abstracting the figures of these and making a picture. And that was the model of photographic, the model of scientific accuracy. With the photograph, this changes enormously, and all of a sudden, the photograph now becomes the means of observation. Now, inasmuch as every photograph, anatomical or botanical or zoological or whatever, is of a particular individual, you have to print a lot of them. And moreover, there has to be, in effect, a lot of interpretation to figure out which they are when you're doing medical drawings, which are the deviant types, which are the pathological types, which are the normal types. Nonetheless, in photography, in science as well, the photograph changes completely the notion of objectivity. The photograph is going to be objective. The scientist will be able to step back and, again, fold his arms at this point and not interfere in the process. In fact, these photographs are much harder to interpret than the other drawings have been. But that's to say, they didn't necessarily empirically represent a step forward, but in terms of method, the scientists said, well, I got nothing to do with this. The camera's talking. There is an idea we have that the photograph has to be specific, that it's impossible to photograph a type as such. August Zonder, photographer I'm very much interested in the 1920s, undertook a project to photograph each type of person in Germany, the banker, the baker, the bricklayer, the officer, and so on, and to create an album that would represent every single person as a type. We tend to see them, even in these forms, as individuals. When photographs are used to represent types, it strikes us as odd. These are propaganda photographs, propaganda posters from the Soviet Union on the top and the Nazi Germany on the bottom. There's something hokey about it to us, because we see these as individual people. We don't see this as pictures of types of the Soviet soldier, the Soviet airman, the German widow. We're much happier with paintings like those of Roman Rockwell illustrating the Four Freedoms that represent the type for us in a way that we feel more comfortable with. In fact, when the American Heritage Dictionary, with which I was associated, came out in originally 1969, it was the first dictionary that ever used photographs to illustrate the entries. So for espadrille, I had a picture of an espadrille. For brioche, I had a picture of brioche. And other lexicographers were very upset. A photograph can only represent a particular brioche. You need a drawing to represent the abstract brioche. Photographs were used as fictional photographs. I'm going to skip this. Wittgenstein, the philosopher, made the point that all of these conventions for interpreting photographs are very much cultural constructions. We regard the photograph, the picture on our wall, as the object itself depicted there. This need not have been so. We could easily imagine people who did not have this relationship to such pictures, who, for example, would be repelled by photographs because a face without color and perhaps even a face of reduced proportions struck them as inhuman. And it's important to realize how much our way of understanding photographs is a historical construction, rather than one that just comes from the nature of the photograph itself, particularly because there is still this temptation to think of the photograph as a mechanical procedure. For next time, history of propaganda. It's like a 30-page section. If you get a chance, this is painless and interesting. Look at the two propaganda movies, one from the American Frank Capra during World War II, the other from Nazi Germany, Leni Riefenstahl in 1936, just to get a sense of some of the things we'll be talking about. Not obligatory, but easy and interesting. So I commend it. Both on YouTube. See you then.